So much of what's filtered out about me over the years has been completely mythological. I mean, completely exaggerated or downright untrue. And some of it's been true, of course.
For the past 29 years, one man has dedicated his life to watching movies with the single goal of separating the ones on top from the ones that flop. That man is Richard Crouse.
Oh, you're here. Welcome to This Week on Movies, your guide to everything that's available for download right here on iTunes. This week, we take you on a spiritual path down to a sea of cinematic delights.
Is that him? Yeah.
Martha, you look like a Marcy May. You like it here?
Yeah, it's great.
Now, I know people have abandoned you your whole life. If you feel safe here, and I hope you do, let us in. If you're going to live here, you need to be a part of things.
Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene isn't about four alliteratively named sisters. It's actually about a young, disturbed woman who escapes from a cult in the Catskill Mountains and makes her way back home to live with her sister and her sister's husband. Martha is her real name. Marcy May is the name she was given by the cult, and Marlene is the name that the cult uses as a code name.
I have to go. I can't stay gone, so,
The movie really is a showcase for its star, Elizabeth Olsen. Now, she's the younger sister of the more famous Olsen twins, but she's left the kid stuff that made her sisters billionaires behind and instead has taken on a very serious role playing a paranoid and delusional woman. She's really great in this, in fact, has a shelf full of awards from critics groups to prove it. Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene isn't your typical horror film. In fact, I can't really classify it as a horror film, but it is dripping with paranoia and atmosphere. But more importantly, it marks the emergence of a great new star.
On the northwestern coast of Spain. This is everything it had when we found it. People have walked the path for over 1,000 years. The way is a very personal journey, Mr. Avery.
Daniel was my only child. We're gonna walk the Camino to Santiago, both of us.
In The Way, Martin Sheen plays a complacent Californian doctor whose adult son dies while trying to complete the El Camino de Santiago walk from France to Spain. Going to France to collect his son's ashes, the doctor decides to continue his son's journey. Along the way, meets a number of interesting people who help him along his spiritual path.
Nice to meet you, Rabbi.
Oh, actually, I'm a priest.
You can understand my confusion.
Yeah, a lot of people make that mistake. Brain cancer. Surgery left me with a terrible scar. I wear this yarmulke to cover it up.
The Way is a road movie, but it's not a typical road movie. It's much more about the lessons learned along the way than it is about the places visited along the way. Martin Sheen, who's directed by his son Emilio Estevez, is terrific in this movie, which sometimes takes a little bit too long to get where it's going, but Sheen's performance anchors the entire thing, turning this into a heartfelt and life-affirming film.
College of Knowledge. What is the name of the Wilkes plantation in Gone with the Wind?
That would be 12 Oaks. It's where Ashley Wilkes lived.
What do you do for fun?
Oh, what do you think I do? I watch movies.
Oh, I quit.
Well,
I quit.
Where are you going?
You win, Richard.
Don't
you
go.
win.
Don't you have any other questions?
Question that I know you're not going to be able to answer, but then you answer it. You do it.
You said she was dead. That was her sister, the Wicked Witch of the East. This is the Wicked Witch of the West. She's worse than the other one was.
Everybody loves The Wizard of Oz, the classic 1939 movie about Dorothy's spiritual journey down the yellow brick road.
It was an accident. I didn't mean to kill anybody.
That's right. I said spiritual journey. Read into the movie what you will, but it seems quite apparent that the ideas in the film are borrowed from New Age, Christian, and even Buddhist belief systems. I mean, could Glenda, the Good Witch of the North, who sends Dorothy on her journey, be a Zen master? Possibly. Or could Dorothy's ruby red slippers represent the Buddhist inner spark? I think so.
Give me back my slippers. I'm the only one that knows how to use them. They're no use to you. Give them back to me. Give them back. Keep tight inside of them. Their magic must be very powerful, or she wouldn't want them so badly.
But even if the spiritual aspects of the story are coincidental, the fact remains that Dorothy goes on a pilgrimage, not unlike many who came before her and many who will come after her.
There's no place like home. Wake up, honey.
She went on a search for her true home. She just did it with a lion, a scarecrow, and a tin man. I think it's that spiritual aspect of the story that has turned this into an intergenerational classic.
Hi, and welcome to Celebrity Picks. I'm here with Dave Allen, a painter and graphic artist based in New York. And he's going to tell us about one of his favorite movies, Oh Lucky Man, directed by Lindsay Henderson.
It's a great movie with a lot of fine actors and ensemble cast. This is like a follow-up to the film If, and he's on a life path where everything gets disrupted.
So why is this a movie that's good to watch now?
Well, Malcolm McLaren is still a great actor to watch, and as a young man he's very, very compelling. The situations that Malcolm McDowell's character Mick finds himself in sometimes are quite hilarious, although oftentimes quite scary too. It's got a nuclear explosion in it somewhere. There's definitely a guy with his head stitched to a sheep. By the end of the film, Mick Travis has really been through the mill, and he comes out of it a better person, I suppose you might say.
Alright, so thanks for coming on and telling us about Oh Lucky Man. I'll see you guys next time.
Cinematically, the beauty of the road trip movie is that it offers up the opportunity for the main character to meet new characters at every stop that they make along the way. Now, usually these characters are just set dressing, maybe a funny waitress here or a homicidal maniac there, that serve as a backdrop to get to what's really important at the heart of these stories, and that is the spiritual journey. It's one thing to move a character from place to place, but it's another thing entirely to make the journey actually mean something. Great road trip movies are as much for the soul as they are for the scenery, and as an audience member, it's much more satisfying if the main character ends up in a better place both physically and mentally at the end of the movie than they were at the beginning. Not all these films will take you to cinematic nirvana, but you're bound to find something here you like. Underneath the fine performances and craftsman-like filmmaking of J. Edgar is, well, not much, or too much, depending on your point of view. The script is ambitious, covering 50 turbulent years, both politically and personally for the former FBI chief, but as the story jumps from decade to decade, interweaving old and young versions of the characters, you can't help but wish that director Clint Eastwood had chosen one aspect of the story and told it well instead of this scattershot approach. It's a case of too much information and too little insight. Tower Heist. It's nice to see Eddie Murphy in a movie that allows him to drop his beloved family entertainer guise and bring back some of the bravado that we loved in movies like 48 Hours. It's just too bad the movie feels like it was made 30 years ago. Café de Flore. The idea of the uncompromising power of true love is the thing that connects the stories of a jet-setting Montreal disc jockey and a single mother played by Vanessa Paradis of a Down syndrome child. The main pleasure here is watching Paradis throw glamour out the window. She is, after all, the face of Chanel, and deliver a gritty but lovingly rendered performance as a protective mother. London Boulevard stars Colin Farrell, Ray Winstone, and Keira Knightley in a gritty British crime drama directed by the guy who wrote The Departed, William Monahan. Smart, surly and sassy, this one uses a great soundtrack and performances to smooth out an occasionally cliched script. Well, that's it for this week's show. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our look at the cinematic spiritual path. Be sure to join us again next time when I tell you about everything that's new and cool and available for download right here on iTunes. In the meantime, remember, I watch bad movies so you don't have to. Oh, you're here. 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 Oh, you're here.
You have just watched This Week on Movies, starring Richard Crouse. Guests of This Week on Movies stay at friends' houses because there is no budget to put them up at a hotel.